What's up, everybody? My name's Adam Novotny, and this is a Tech Review Tuesday. So today we are reviewing the Google Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL. I'm going to gear this mainly towards vlogging using this phone. Now, this is not a paid advertisement by Google, but I'm going to do my best to talk you into using this phone because I absolutely love this phone. So this is the Pixel 2 XL, which has the exact same camera as the Pixel 2. This phone has the highest DxO Mark rating out of any smartphone on the market right now. On the back of this thing, we are working with a 12.2 megapixel, 1.8 f aperture, optical and electronic image stabilization. This thing does 4K at 30 frames a second, 1080 at 30, 60, and 20 frames a second, or you can even do 720 at 240 frames per second. So this is a sample at 4K at 30 frames a second. Some 1080p at 60 frames a second. Some 1080p at 120 frames a second. And here's some 720p at 240 frames per second. I mean, look at that footage. So let's mention the front-facing camera also. This is a 8 megapixel f2.4. This will do 1080 at 30 frames a second. Not giving you any slow-mo, but definitely useful for, you know, that vlogging style, and everything that comes off it looks pretty good. So I do have a DSLR camera, which I'm recording on now, and I also have a GoPro. I do a lot of action sports, and I find myself that the real slow motion shots like I just showed, I like taking on the Pixel 2 XL because I can record at the 120 frames a second, which really gives me that slow, buttery, smooth footage that I like. And I really prefer the image stabilization in this phone over everything I've used so far. So let's talk about some of the other specs that I really like about this phone. I think this is the #1 feature that makes this phone absolutely perfect for vlogging. Now, you can do this with picture or video. I'm gonna take a selfie. There's a picture. Open up Google Photos. Automatically updates right onto your computer, everything at its normal resolution. If you do 2 hours of 4K footage, it's going to give you 2 hours of 4K footage on the cloud for free. So everything that I take on here, I have all my vlogs on this phone on the cloud for free. That's huge for me. Another great feature that the Pixel 2 has this year versus last year is water resistant. Last year it didn't have the water resistant. This year it does. It just gives you that warm fuzzy feeling that you don't have to worry about dropping this thing in a puddle, or if you're snowboarding, getting it wet. It's just nice to have. The battery life on this thing is phenomenal. I've had one issue. It was during my peek and peek video. The phone actually froze because it was so cold. It was 8 degrees with like a real feel of 20 degrees. It's the only time I've ever had an issue with this phone and its battery life. Has a 3,520 milliamp battery that is just phenomenal. A lot of companies realize how good this camera is on this phone and are making cases that you can do external lenses that make a wider field of view or a narrower. You can also do zoom lenses on the back of this thing. They make clip-on lenses. A lot of people are making lenses for this phone because of how good this camera is. And the audio is not bad either. This is coming straight off the Pixel. It may not be as good as a shotgun mic, but what do you expect? Now, there are a few things I do not like about this. One being Google doesn't give you a time-lapse feature in the Google Camera app. Now, there are many apps out there that you can download for this in the App Store. to get your time lapses. But Google, maybe put a time lapse mode in. One of my boxes checked. I'd love that. Another thing is it's not very wide. When you're holding it out, it's somewhere close to a 35mm lens. It'd be nice to have a little bit wider field of view. And that's kind of it. Like, I guess I could compare it to the iPhone and say that I wish I had 1080p 240 frames a second or 4K at 60 frames a second, but I upload all my videos in 1080, so I'm not losing that much there. Well, alright, I hope that you found this video helpful. I know that I absolutely love my Pixel 2 XL. I started off vlogging with it. I was fortunate enough to get a DSLR, but I still use it all the time. There's many times when I leave the house, I don't have my camera, and I feel completely confident using my phone because everything that comes off it looks beautiful. Make sure you get subscribed for more Tech Review Tuesdays. I also do vlogs every Thursday. Go ahead and check those out. I'll put them right here. And have a great Tuesday. I'll see you guys next week.